Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Rifts grow in the ruling coalition following disagreement on a few agendas. Sherbahadur Deuba consults with ministers from Nepali Congress. Parties expedite separate meetings. Political parties positive in tabling the Transitional Justice Bill. Law Minister demands for some more time for revision. Opposition CP and UML agreeing with the bill following discussion with the Premier. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal falls short of his announcement of dealing with disputed ministers by 3rd of March. Questions raised over his intention. And Shehbaz Sharif elected Pakistan Prime Minister for the second term after controversial vote. Sharif returns to the role he held until August last year. Mainstream political parties have expedited party meetings following polarization within the ruling alliance regarding the National Assembly election and the Transitional Justice Bill. It has been understood that Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba called on the party leaders at his Budalilkantha residence to consult regarding potential strategy to address the current scenario. Problems within the ruling coalition has also affected Finland visit by Foreign Affairs Minister NP South. The minister was to leave for Finland today to take part in a UN forum. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal also held consultations with leaders of his party at Balwatar, including Barsaman Pun. Elsewhere, main opposition CP and UML had also held a meeting at party chair KP Sharma Oli's residence in Balkot, Bhaktapur. Oli had called on his close aides for consultation. 19 newly elected members of the National Assembly are to take their oath tomorrow. The election for the post of chairperson has been scheduled for 11th of this month. Both Nepali Congress and CPN Mao Center have staked their claims to the post, which has resulted in a dynamic of mistrust between the alliance partners. The growing polarization is also believed to be the reason behind the delay in tabling the Transitional Justice Bill. Main political parties are close to reaching a consensus on the bill for the amendment of the Investigation of Enforced Disappeared Persons, Truth and Reconciliation Commission Act. As the main ruling party and opposition parties at today's meeting of the Parliament's Law, Justice and Human Rights Committee were flexible on prior issues that were in disagreement to conclude the bill at the earliest, the main parties are close to reaching a consensus on the bill. Although the parties created a conducive environment for consensus, Law Minister Dhanaraj Gurung demanded some more time for revision, saying that additional discussions were needed on two issues. The committee then decided to hold discussions and reach an agreement in the next meeting. Minister Gurung said that the parties needed to search for an agreement on what to do if the victims do not give consent for reconciliation in incidents of human rights violations. Minister Gurung also pointed out the need to discuss on up to how much reduction in sentence can be made while handing out sentences. There was disagreement on the explanation on serious human rights violations earlier. However, the government has agreed to move ahead by including cruel, arbitrary killings as grave human rights violations during the armed conflict era. Likewise, the parties have also agreed on the issue of compensation for the families of conflict victims. The bill earlier had proposed reparation for the persons injured or rendered disabled. The parties have now agreed to add other persons directly or indirectly affected by the parties of armed conflict, along with persons injured or rendered disabled. After consensus was not reached on all issues today, the ruling parties and opposition parties blamed each other of asking for more time. Speaking after today's meeting, Chief Whip of Nepali Congress, Ramesh Lekhak, said that CPN-UML said it needed more time for discussions. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, some four days ago, had said that he would take a decisive action against disputed ministers on 3rd of March as he spoke with the media. However, the Premier has fallen short of his own words. On 28th of February last month, the Premier attended the Mundum International Painting Exhibition and then spoke with the media, where he stated that a clear decision would be taken in the case of the disputed ministers on 3rd of March, which is today. As he was asked why the government had not sacked faulty ministers, the Premier had responded saying study was ongoing to reach a decision. However, the Premier has neither sacked the ministers nor defended them. Instead, the Prime Minister is called on Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure and Transport Management Prakash Jwala, the Secretary and departmental heads, and directed them to ensure good governance and asked for the progress report. In the meantime, main opposition CPN-UML has been warning of obstructing the parliament if the government does not sack the disputed ministers. The Prime Minister has also maintained a conspicuous silence on the alleged involvement of former Minister for Communication and Information Technology and incumbent Health Minister Mohan Bahadur Basnet in the Terramox procurement scandal. Likewise, the Premier is still silent on the controversial decision of giving out Ramgram on lease for 99 years by Tourism Minister Sudan Kirati and on the alleged involvement of Chief Secretary Vaikunta Aryal on the security printing scandal along with the Terramox scandal. Political analysts say the Premier could have been maintaining silence to avoid disputes among the ruling alliance partners and has been trying to reshuffle the cabinet for the same reason. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, has filed a case against the then Chief of Dhanusha's Shahid Nagar Municipality, Uday Kumar Yadav, and Deputy Chief Sheila Devi Kapar for irregularities in procurement of sanitary pads. 9 individuals, including Chief Administration Officer Satrughan Yadav, have been alleged of involvement in the case. The corruption watchdog has claimed a breach in the Public Procurement Act during the purchase made some 2 years ago. The procured pads reportedly also lacked quality. The authority believes fake documents and details were lodged. The defendants list include the then accountant Lok Bahadur Nepali, Sudeep Kumar Bhatrai, Health Coordination Kapil Dev Prasad Adhikari, and the principal of secondary school Hati Purva Sri Krishna Bhinwar. Likewise, the CIAA has also filed a case against Survey Department Kalanki's Lakshmi Prasad Cholagai on corruption charges. The postmortem report of Salin Pokhrel, a 14-year-old girl child who was found dead in her hostel in Chitwan's Ratnanagar municipality, has arrived. The Chitwan police has ruled out rape based on the report issued by the TU Teaching Hospital in Maharajganj. Salin, who was studying in grade 8, was found hanging in the ceiling in her hostel room on 24th of February. According to police spokesperson Sri Ram Bhandari, her postmortem report stated the cause of the death as hanging. Her body was checked by Teaching Hospital's 5 forensic specialists, including doctors Gopal Chaudhary and Yugen Dolma Walung. Meanwhile, the Shalin's family have been saying her body has sustained injuries. The postmortem report states the injuries are minor. Shalin, who originally hails from Gorkha's Ajirkot rural municipality, had been residing in Chitwan's Ratnanagar municipality. She had been staying at the hostel since 2 years. The tenure of 20 members at the National Assembly is ending tonight, including the chairperson. They all served as the members of the upper house for 6 years. This includes National Assembly Chair Ganesh Timilsina, CPN-UML lawmakers Deepa Gurung, Indu Kadaria, Dilkumari Rawal, Kumar Dasaudi, Narpati Luar, Bhairav Kumar Shrestha, and Ramchandra Rai. Likewise, 4 Nepali Congress lawmakers Ramesh Jang Rayamaji, Anita Devkota, Jitendra Narayan Dev, and Prakash Pantha are also retiring. The others are lawmakers from CPN Maoist Center, Bina Pokhrel, Hariram Chaudhary, and Mahesh Kumar Mahara. CPN Unified Socialist lawmakers Nanda Chapai, Singhabadur Bishwakarma, Khimlal Devkota, Janata Samajwadi Party's Pramila Kumari, and President-appointed Bimala Rai Paudel. 19 posts are to be filled tomorrow itself, as new members have been elected from the election held on 25th of January. One member will be nominated by the President upon the recommendation of the Council of Ministers. In 2017, 56 members were elected to the National Assembly of 59 seats, with 3 being nominated by the President. The Parliament Secretariat has said a farewell program was held for the retiring members. Meanwhile, ruling alliance partners Nepali Congress and CPN Mao Center have both staked their claims for the House chairperson post. Nepali Congress is preparing to field Krishna Prasad Chitaula, who was elected from Koshi province, while CPN Mao Center is mulling over its own candidate. After tomorrow's oath-taking ceremony, CPN Mao Center will have the most members at the National Assembly. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what's your take on development expenses not increasing even as preparations for the new budget have started? 27% voted for A, lack of willpower, 55% for B, feeble administrative mechanism, and 18% for C, no money. And here's today's question. Why have lawmakers not raised the issue of security at the Parliament? Your options are A, trying to hide weakness, B, avoiding being anti-public, and C, not considering it a serious issue. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The weather changed across the country today. Light to moderate rainfall occurred at various parts of the country, including the Kathmandu Valley. According to the Meteorological Forecasting Division, light to moderate rainfall occurred everywhere today except the Tarai region of Madhya Province and Koshi Province. Light to moderate snowfall also occurred in the high hilly and Himalayan region of Karnali, Gandaki, and far western provinces. Due to the effects of westerly winds, there will be more rain in the western part of the country, and there will be less effect if the wind comes from the east. The Meteorological Forecasting Division has said that there will be gradual improvement in the weather from tomorrow. As the pre-monsoon has already started, the Forecasting Division also said that there may be an effect of local winds and rain with thunderstorm may begin. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces who is responsible for the protection and management of wildlife. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
राज्यले पनि वन सम्बन्धी नीति नियम बनाउनु पर्यो हैन वन्यजन्तुहरु जथाभावी निस्किने वातावरण हुनु भएन
सामुदायिक वन अथवा उपभोक्ताहरूले संरक्षण गर्नुपर्छ अर्को भनेको राष्ट्रिय निकुञ्जले संरक्षण गर्नुपर्छ
वन्यजन्तु संरक्षण नहुँदा चाहिँ यसले चाहिँ बाहिर आएर चाहिँ बाली नालीदेखि लिएर मानव जीवनमा पनि यसले चाहिँ असर गरेको देखिन्छ धेरै वन्यजन्तुहरूले बाहिर आएर आक्रमण गर्ने खालको भयो
जसले चाहिँ वन्यजन्तुलाई संरक्षण गर्ने भनेर नेतृत्व गरिरहेका छन् त्यसको महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका हुन्छ
जनचेतनाको रूपमा फैलाउनका लागि पहिलो भूमिका राज्यले नै खेल्नु पर्दछ
कुनै न कुनै रूपमा जनावरहरूले पनि मानवलाई सहयोग गरिरहेको छ भने हामीले आफ्नो सुरक्षा त गरौँ र जनावरको पनि सुरक्षातर्फ वन्यजन्तुको सुरक्षातर्फ ध्यान दिनुपर्छ
जन्तुहरूको एक्चुअल वासस्थानमा मान्छेहरू पुगेका छन् त्यसले गर्दा उनीहरूले एक्चुअल वासस्थान जाने क्रममा मान्छेलाई अट्याक गर्छन् खोजी अट्याक गरेको त होइन
मान्छेलाई आफू पनि बाँच्नु पर्यो अरूलाई पनि बाँच्न दिनु पर्यो
समुदाय स्तरबाटै जनचेतनाहरू फैलाउनु पर्यो हैन
स्थानीय सामुदायिक वनहरूलाई पनि उनीहरूलाई पनि जिम्मा दिएर यसको चाहिँ व्यवस्थापन गर्न सके राम्रो हुन्थ्यो
स्थानीय तह प्रदेश तह र संघीय तह तिनै तहबाट पनि यसको नीति नियमहरुको चाहिँ हामीले पालना गर्नुपर्छ
स्थानीय सरकारको यसमा मुख्य भूमिका हुनुपर्छ
मानिसहरुका चाहिँ हरेक क्रियाकलापले गर्दा वन्यजन्तुको आहार तथा वासस्थानमा पर्ने असरहरुको चाहिँ पहिचान गरेर त्यस्ता असरहरु न्यूनीकरण गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ
It's time now for the international updates. Pakistan's newly formed parliament elected Shehbaz Sharif today as prime minister for a second time, 3 weeks after uncertain national elections caused delays in the formation of a coalition government. National Assembly Speaker Ayaz Sadiq said after announcing Sharif had secured 201 votes above the required 169 votes in the House that Shehbaz Sharif was elected the prime minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. He beat Omar Ayub, the candidate backed by jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who secured 92 votes. The declaration was met with loud protests from the Sunni Ittihad Council party backed by Khan. The lawmakers called for Khan's release and shouted slogans alleging Sharif had come to power through electoral rigging. The February 8 election was marred by a mobile internet shutdown, arrests and violence in its build-up, and the unusually delayed results triggered accusations that the vote was rigged. Sharif returned to the role he held until August, when Parliament was dissolved ahead of the elections and a caretaker government took over. No single party won a majority. 72-year-old Sharif is the younger brother of three-time Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who spearheaded their Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz (PMLN) party's election campaign. Candidates backed by Khan gained the most seats, but the PMLN and the Pakistan People's Party agreed to form a coalition government, which enabled Shahbaz Sharif to be elected as the Prime Minister as his brother stepped aside. A Hamas delegation has reportedly arrived in Cairo, Egypt today, raising hopes of a ceasefire in the Israel-Gaza war. An unnamed U.S. official has said Israel has more or less accepted the deal. The U.S. says the 6-week pause would see the release of more Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. Pressure for a deal intensified after last Thursday's incident outside Gaza City in the north of the territory, where at least 112 people were killed as crowds rushed an aid convoy. Egyptian officials who have been running the talks with Qatar said delegations from both Hamas and Israel were expected to attend the negotiations. Hamas is reported to have said that an agreement on a truce could be reached within the next 24 to 48 hours, with a source from the group telling Egyptian media a deal depended on Israel agreeing to its demands. Expectations of a deal were raised after a senior U.S. official said Israel, for its part, had basically agreed a framework for a 6-week ceasefire. The Israel military launched a large-scale air and ground campaign to destroy Hamas after its gunmen killed about 1,200 people in southern Israel on 7th of October last year and took 253 back to Gaza as hostages. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says at least 30,410 people, including 21,000 children and women, have been killed in Gaza since then, with some 7,000 missing and 71,700 injured.
Sports news.
The last league match under the triangular T20 International Series between Netherlands and Namibia was abandoned today due to rain, and both teams shared a point each. In the match played at the Tribhuvan University Cricket Ground in Kantipur today, Namibia batted first after losing the toss and scored 98 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in 15 overs before rain interrupted play. The match was later abandoned due to wet outfield. Before the match was abandoned, Jan-Nicole Lofty-Eaton was unbeaten on 34 off 29 balls. Malan Kruger also contributed a quick-fire 24 off 18 balls, while skipper J.J. Smith added 18. Vivian Kingma, Tim van der Gugten, Arjan Dutt and Rolof van der Merwe all claimed a wicket each for the Dutch team. After securing a point today, Netherlands topped the points table with 5 points from 4 matches, while host Nepal finished second with 4 points, and Namibia ended at the bottom with 3 points. Nepal will now face Netherlands in this Tuesday's final. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.